Hello, tankers and gamers. Momentary Genius here with the WZ-111'66, or the Cold War version. And seeing as this tank is currently available as a bundle with the T95E2 57, again, Cold War, under the title of Time Shifted, because the one-word title of mediocrity just wouldn't sell these mediocre tanks. The WZ-111'66 was available originally in a season pass. It was, I believe, the first heavy tank in Era 1, and it shows. Wargaming certainly kept this tank balanced. So balanced, in fact, that, well, it's not bad. It's not good. It is really in the middle of the road if you have the patience to work with it. This comment, I should say, appear in the World of Tanks weekly assault streams and stuff about buffing the WZ-111. Its armor is subpar, especially for the hull, especially close range. The turret has mediocre frontal armor. It can work. The gun is derpy. It's not very accurate. The penetration on the rounds is also a letdown. It's 248 standard, 320 heat, 390 damage. And of course, if you really want a good premium, then you go with the T95E3, which you probably got for free for completing the training videos and stuff. That has 261, and then, of course, the American heavies, they're almost 300 penetration, over 400 damage. So yeah, now there is one strength to the WZ-111 compared to the two other heavies. It's fast. And by fast, I mean it can get up to, it's without really any speed boost or anything like that, equipment, 50 kilometers per hour. Like and subscribe if you appreciate these morose and subdued reviews of a tank that needs help. And I say it needs help because the gun fails you, not all the time, but when you most need it. It frustrates me, and I have to admit, when this comes up in the streams, the comment of buffing it, and BAM, their lead tank designer, and they all look at the numbers, go, it's sitting right where we want it, just about 50%, maybe a little less. I am to blame, because I, as a tanking god, and only other experienced players, will endure and work to perfect their skills with this tank. I'm sorry to the casual player or anyone who thinks that for, yes, 8,900 gold, that bundle almost sounds good, because that's just over the price of this tank on its own. But it really displeases me to play it. I've gotten better and I've gotten good, but I've also learned to know when I'm out of my depths. Now, the dream scenario with the WZ-111, obviously it can get you into trouble. It will not get you out of trouble. So the dream scenario is is 2 light tanks in front of you. You'll keep up with them mostly, or a fast medium. But again, preferably 2 tanks that you will support. Because when you have 2 light tanks and they're circle of deathing any other individual tank, preferably individual, you don't want the other team to have teamwork going on, okay? You want to isolate your prey and take it out quickly. You then, unless of course the prey has an intellectual player and they will target you because you will most likely be the fatter, easier target to hit, and once they realize it's over for them, they will just get as much damage out of you as they can. They will farm what little HP they can off of you and let the light tanks pick the carcass of their tank for themselves. That is the dream scenario. It can be fun. It can be exhilarating. But that implies teamwork, which can be fleeting in this game. I have played the WZ-111 over 180 times, and almost the same amount goes to the T95E3, which, let's be real, it's a heavium. It's a hybrid of the medium and heavies, and when it comes down to it, if you want a heavy tank, you go with the T95E3. I have unfortunately had scenarios of face-hugging a T95E3, or just in general going shot for shot with them in my WZ-111'66, and it was horrifyingly painful. I think the T95E3 is all you need. It is the good middle-of-the-road tank. It does what you ask it. It does it well. And unless you like to go fast, that's where the T95E3 is weak. If you call that a weakness. You really have to work to make the WZ-111 good. I have 6 skills on my commanders. I'm constantly wondering, do I need to work on the gun? Do I need to work on improving the armor? Should I improve mobility, which will decrease the accuracy of my gun? I don't know. So I have a 6 skills commander, and yet with 4 skills on the commander for my T95E3, I know what to do with that tank. I suppose having options is a great thing. Although, when you need to figure out what option to take, because it's all about improving the weaknesses of a tank, that's where the WZ-111 falls short. Now, if I were to recommend any buffs to this tank, which I think the day will come, especially if more mediums are introduced to Era 1, which I don't even know if a new tank line is going to be introduced this year of our Lord 2023 in the month of October. But if I would recommend anything, I suppose just tightening up just a little bit of the aim in time would be nice. So you could get into the action quicker and deal out the damage, or more likely watch your round bounce, because angles and RNG. That would be my recommendation for the WZ-111'66, which even when it's a good match and I come in first, it's just, oh, yay, we did it, we survived, and my team didn't screw up, leaving me naked and afraid as the wolves come for my flesh. Of course, being that it is a mediocre tank, and like the T95E2, which no one seems to really remember or care about because the siege mode on it really doesn't improve the accuracy on that tank, although sometimes the turret from the front at least bounces rounds, and that's really the only good thing about that tank, because the rounds are even slower I swear they're probably even slower than the WZ-111s. Good lord, and that's a 90mm gun. There, that's the excitement I get out of both those tanks right there. But there's a dramatic pause there for a reason. But I do have another solution that may be controversial. It won't be, because we'll be wargaming giving us what we want. More tank lines. More heavies is what Era 1 needs. See, the WZ-111, like I said, it's so... I guess it's a bland tank. It's so mediocre. It's okay enough that if it just got lost in the shuffle of new heavy tanks, tank lines, maybe even a premium, I don't know, preferably tank, new tech trees, maybe Chinese heavy tanks, because clearly they won't be as OP as what we all fear could very well be the breaking of Era 1 is the Russian heavies, the IS tanks. But they'd be fun. So yeah, really my solution to WZ-111 is more heavy tanks. They'll be slow, they'll be big, and they'll be outmaneuvered by a lot of Era 1 tanks. I do enjoy taking my Type 773 and just getting right around the back and pounding a T-34 from behind. And then just zipping away as that turret tries to get around, only to see me disappear. Yeah. The best way to buff the WZ-111 is just to replace it with more heavies and let it get lost in the, well, considering how a lot of countries ended up having to use medium tanks or experimenting with the whole, we don't use armor, we use speed and hard-hitting firepower, because it's just no point in armor. It's too slow and you just get hit, and then you got ATGMs coming into play. So yeah, more heavies, fewer mediums. That'd be nice. I mean, if we get another premium heavy, that'd be nice, because the WZ-111 does have a saving grace of a 60% silver boost, which if usually means, especially if you have a premium count, or even if you don't, you won't lose silver, even when things go wrong, which can kind of happen a lot in a tank that gets you into trouble, like I said, but can't get you out of it. So the best way to play this tank is to know where your teammates are and to follow them and stay behind them. Yes, if you don't have hard cover to protect your tank with, then definitely use your team as tank shields. And hope to God they're not small enough for you to still be overexposed. Or hope, the enemy goes, ooh, R1, R2, RB, RT, and just slams the mantle of your turret and bounces. They'll probably just track you instead. But yeah, if you ever have the opportunity to buy the WZ-111, I hope it's in a bundle where this is the crap throwaway tank. It'll probably be two, hopefully in there, that third one will be the really good tank. The whole reason you buy that bundle and be like, but these other tanks aren't good. Can I just give you 10,000 gold instead? No. This unfortunately is a tank that if you work it and take the time to really work with it, you can make it do almost what you want But it's not more about learning to use its strengths. It's more about learning to live with its weaknesses. And that can be a problem. I mean, all tanks have their weaknesses, but at least they can be fun and bring you joy. Whenever anyone talks about playing the WZ-111'66, it's not with a smile on their face. Unless they're masochists. And I, as a sadist, I prefer to do the damaging than feeling the pain, you know? It's not my jam, alright? And this tank, you kind of go, I'm gonna have to lose some HP to get what I want. Or go in the wrong direction and completely miss out on all the fun. That doesn't usually happen. You can get around the battlefield pretty quickly, like I said. The mobility's good. You could probably lean into that. Just be careful once you get to the front of the line and suddenly realize you're not the steel wall that the myth of heavy tanks makes you feel. It's kind of like the Tiger tanks when you first play that. And then you don't understand why. You're just being penetrated from all sides, because what is an angle? Don't believe the hype. This tank needs you, the player, to protect it, because it will not protect you when you play it. So, buff the accuracy, so at least the gun is almost usable. But realistically, let's just give us more tanks, Wargaming. Give us more heavy tanks so we can forget about the WZ-111'66. Unless we need silver or to test our skills. What do you guys think? Comment below. Like and subscribe. Follow me at Genius Momentary. And I hope you keep your checks on the ground, and the RNG's in your favor, and I hope you play a tank you love. Catch you in the next one.